On today's episode of freezing our nays off, I'm still waiting for parts for this thing, so I'm planning on taking the back bumper cover off and cleaning up the rear crash support. You can see from underneath there that it's obviously got lots of salt and spray from being winter driven, so I'd like to grind it off, clean it, paint it just so it doesn't continue to rust, and then anything else I can clean while I'm under there. I'd also like to eventually do a full underbody clean of the car, but back in that whole area where debris gets caught and can never really be washed out, I'd like to clean all that out. So also, if I sound like I'm dying, it's because I have COVID, so make sure you stay 6 feet away. I know we're pretty close and personal right now, but I don't want to get you sick. We do need an Allen key. And probably just a Phillips screwdriver. Yes, Jackie. What do we got here? Oh. Maybe this one. Come on. Nope. All right. Oof. Got the shop pumas hanging out today. Yank. Yeah. Jackie. Oh yeah, I got nice and dirty. Yep. Yep. Ooh, that's the money right there. Ooh. Maybe I should get a bin for this stuff. Ooh, fairly corroded feeling. Okay. Does this have... I don't know, we'll just take the whole thing off. I went around the whole car back here and sprayed everything with penetrating oil, things I know I'll be taking apart or adjusting in the future. I'll do that a few more times while I'm working on other stuff on the car, just to hopefully have the best chance when I go to take it apart. It's weird. There's red spray paint on these rubber boots. There's also red spray paint on the drain plug on the oil pan and the oil filter. I don't know why. Who does that? Even the spring has a little bit of overspray on it. I mean, these calipers obviously were maybe red at one time, but it's strange that I would find it on the oil filter. Like, the heck? Alright, that should be loose, although it doesn't feel loose at all. Oh, yeah, there we go. Something. Let's see what we got going on here. I've never taken a 9-gen apart. Holy cow, there's a lot of mud in there. Looks like there's a... Oops. Whatever clips behind this one doesn't feel attached. Like I was noticing before, was this was popped out and this was ripped. So I don't know if this back wheel picked up a rock or something at one point. I'm not sure. Okay, I gotta figure out how to get those two push pins out. See if I can bust it out of there. There we go. Oh, what a pain those are. Oh, this is a crack in it too, I see. Oh, God. So much dirt in my eye. Whew, look at that. Weight reduction. That's weird, it's like frozen. Check it out, Jackie. What do you think? Are we illegal now? For H Street? Illegal weight reduction? Oh, broken half. And those clips suck. Alright, this one's got the same block of ice crap, dirt, shit in it. It's so weird. Good maintenance thing though, honestly, to take these off once you're and clean them out, because it's a lot of stuff in there. Absolute pain these things are. There we go. Ah, you finally. Dear Lord. See all the dirt and mud in there. So this is what I was talking about. I want to clean all this stuff up. See, it's starting to flake. Jackie, don't roll in here, it's dirty. No. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Holy cow, look at all that dirt. And you wonder why things like crash bars rot out. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to do a 100% restoration on this thing. I just want to clean it up, get the scale off it, get some POR on it so it's sealed, and then I want to clean everything back here so it's, you know, like back to square one. And then I'll probably coat it in some type of rust inhibitor and oil, which will make dust stick to it, of course, but it'll last long. I plan on daily driving this car for the next, I don't know, foreseeable future. So I'd like to do it right and make it last as best as I can. Same with these little areas that aren't anything major. I just want to clean them up, seal them just so they don't grow over time. All these little spots underneath the car. Underneath the car is super clean, doesn't have any actual real rust anywhere, so the little surface patches that are starting here and there, I might as well clean them up before they get bad, right? Right. Interesting. Lots of junk in there too. I thought this would actually be an opening to this rail, but it's closed off. It's interesting. Oh, wow. Dude, I can't believe how much dirt is in there. Huh. It's crazy. But yeah, I'll definitely be filling these areas with cavity wax, even though they've already probably got some surface rust and mank in there. I'm gonna get my water fixed and I'm gonna wash this thing as absolutely thorough as I can. I'm curious. For science, how much does this dirt weigh? 4.2 pounds. 4.2 pounds of sprung weight. Whoa. We'll return it back to Mother Earth. I mean, if you count the amount that is in my eyeballs and that I inhaled, it's probably like 6 pounds of dirt. If you have COVID, don't do that. No, don't. Nope. All right. No, she's in here. I hear my throat. I know a lot of you are probably saying, hey, sure, you know, you've cleaned up the outside, sort of. But what about the inside? It's got rust. You'd be right, it does. I don't really have a plan for that. I think I'll try and scrape what I can loose and then maybe fill it with rust converter and then fill it with cavity wax after. Like I said, it's not a restoration, I'm just trying to prolong its life. So I think next what I'll do is I'll try and get a file in there on the ends anyways and just clean the ends up a bit. Probably thinking this tool bag's never used a file in his life. What the heck's he doing? Just knocking scale off. I can't actually file in there, so. Crazy the amount of dirt and rust scale that's still coming out of this thing. So, like I was saying, on the inside of some of these, they still have rust. You can see that one's the bad one. This one's the less bad one, but it's got some in it as well. And yeah, so what I'll probably do is I'll try and scrape any of that scale rust I can off of it. And then I will have a metal prep, which is like a rust converter. And I will POR everything, including that. And then when I'm done, I'll probably soak it in something like this. Not saying it'll be this one exactly, but some form of a rust prohibitor, right? It's basically just you're spraying oil on stuff. So it won't get rid of existing rust, but it'll stop it or slow it down anyway. So that's probably what I'll end up doing in the nooks and crannies that I can't really get to. But yeah, this one wasn't too bad at all. This one definitely has some decent pitting on it, but it's nothing that would make me not use it. So, and same with this. Still structurally good. It just had some pitting on the top there. Might have to hit this a little more with the wire wheel in some spots. Like right there, you can see it's still flaking. But yeah, getting somewhere. All right, still sick. So I have mixed up some cold water and POR cleaner degreaser. I say cold water because it specifically asks for, where is it? I don't see it. It asks for hot water. I don't have hot water. I mixed this up like a year ago. We're gonna use it. It's also possibly in the world's worst spray bottle known to man. You gotta, you know, pull it up every time you push it. So that's handy. That's a lot of effort when you gotta pull that thing up every time. I'm not really picky with getting this thing perfectly clean. I just kind of want to clean the areas that I'm actually going to be painting.
Running water in my life is just horrid. Everything I want to do right now with this car involves washing it. That's hard to do when you're in water, obviously.
Remove roost lust. Paint scale. Degrease it. And then apply metal prep. Okay, so this doesn't have to be dry to apply the metal prep, so that's nice. So I'll go rinse these. I'll give them a half kind of sort of dry, and then I'll metal prep them. I'm also going to bring an SOS pad out there. I want to see how good it'll attack the little bit of rust I have in those small little areas. I want to see if it's just that light of surface stuff that this will scrub it off, and I would also like to see if this will bring the chrome tip back to life. I might just do a little test spot on there, because it does not look chrome. It's looking something awful. Hey, I wasn't talking to you. Talking to myself over here, okay? Mind your own business. Yeah. Just for fun, I'll do a little test patch pack where you won't be able to see it, but like, look how rough this thing looks. Yeah, I think it'll shine up again. All right. Okay, I'll show you guys me putting on the first layer, but this is going to take half an hour and I'm going to have to keep putting coats on it, one after the other, and so on. So I'll show you guys doing the first coat, and then I'll come back with you when it's dry. So definitely want to put it liberally on all the areas that you want to convert. We want it to seep into all those nooks and crannies. Give these guys a quick dose while we're here. All right, I'm gonna let those soak for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna continue layering them up. So we'll see you guys when it's done. You can see this stuff's starting to go to work. It's cleaning it up, it's turning that stuff black. The heavier zones are still working away. But anyways, while I'm waiting for that stuff, I've taken all these bolts that hold this onto the car, run them through the wire wheel. I'm soaking them in the same stuff as this to clean any rust off, and I'm also giving them a quick thread chase because there was quite a bit of corrosion back there, so some of them, after I wire wheeled them, you could see some of the threads weren't happy. So I'm just gonna go through and chase each one just to ensure that they thread on nicely when I go to put it back together, and then I'll probably coat them again in a anti-rust coating of some type so they stay nice if I ever take it apart again, or if a guy in the future ever takes it apart, he won't have to struggle quite so bad. Alright, just that little thread clean, man, that looks way better. This was one of the uglier ones. Yeah, that looks nice. Alright, what I might do is I might take these all out of here. As I clean them, maybe I'll put them in there and let them soak. That's my plan. Alright, I want to show you guys one other quick tip here. Rather than putting the bolt in the vise and spinning this on and, you know, tightening, loosening that every single time, I just grabbed a 12mm socket on a 1/4 inch ratchet, and I just start it by hand to make sure it's good. This one's quite dirty, I can feel it already, and then I just lightly run it in with this. It's way quicker, and if I want to go back out and back in to try and clean it out, it's quick and easy. So this is quite an ugly one, actually. This is probably the worst one I've done. You could feel it was quite resilient to go. But if it's done right, you can see I can thread it out by hand nicely. So it's definitely cleaned those out. You can see all the gunk in there that it's picking up. So yeah, that one's quite a bit better now. See, I can thread it in by fingers, no problem. Let's look at the chemical reaction going on in here. You can see it fizzing away, eating all the rust off of there, so it's working good. All right, everything here is basically ready for paint. I just want to let it thoroughly dry. You can see this came out pretty good. There's still some areas, I mean, it's not going to be perfect. Same with these, there's definitely still some areas that aren't perfect in the backside, but we'll get as much POR in there as we can to seal it and hope for the best. So I'm just going to let these sit and dry for a while before I bother starting to paint them. Got these bolts still soaking. They're actually coming out really, really nice, considering they've just been sitting there. I give them a little shake here and there just to try and agitate them a bit. But anyways, those are coming out really clean. And I already did all the threads on those, so those are good to go. So I thought I would come back here and chase the threads on these. Get them cleaned right out, and then we're gonna be looking good after that. Just wanna make sure I start these nicely so I don't screw them up. There we go. Definitely feels like it's pulling some junk out. I might need a better method than this goofy socket thing I got going on here. Alright, you can see it pulled a lot of stuff out of there, so it's good. Oh yeah, well, weird, that one actually pulled out the most garbage, but that one threaded the easiest. Alright, clean both holes. Let's check these out. It's crazy how clean they actually came, like that product. I didn't scrub them, I didn't do nothing, I just let them sit in there. And like that one looks brand new. The ones with the heavier stuff on them, it doesn't take that off, but you know, it gets most of it. And these bolts with the thread chase and now that, they're gonna, you know, thread in like new again. So back pan area, as you can see, it's all cleaned up. But there's definitely some surface rust back here, which I want to deal with. I don't know how I'm going to deal with it yet. It's really dark on this side, but it's the same dealio. It's actually a lot better on this side. That side's worse. But I'd like to at least, once my hose is fixed, my like outside water tap is fixed, I'll be able to get under this thing and clean the absolute crap out of the bottom of it, and then from there I'll decide what I'm going to do. I might have to remove the muffler and then get in there with a wire wheel and POR that one section, because it is pretty covered. And then again, like I said before, final reassembly, I'm going to just drench the whole back of this car in some type of a rust preventative oil spray. But yeah, next stage will be slopping some paint on there. All right, time to paint. Or pour? I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. We're gonna put this on that. So, if you're unfamiliar with POR, you'll notice I don't have the top removed, I have the 2 holes drilled. If you ever remove this top and then put it back on, stuff will go rotten for sure. It'll harden up, won't be any good. So you drill 2 small holes, one to pour from, one to do science stuff to make it pour better, and then you just seal them up with screws when you're done with a little bit of POR on there. Good to go. I haven't used this in about a year and it's still good. I don't really remember how much goes how far, so I'm gonna stop there. Put these screws back in. If I need more, I'll pour more, but wrong screw hole. I just don't want to pour way too much out and not use it. So stuff's pricey. Gotta make it last. All right, that should be okay. Nobody's ever gonna see this, except for, you know, the 3 people that watch my YouTube channel. So just slather her on. That's gonna have to dry first, so put that out of the way. Start on the next one. Hey, you can be on the bench, but don't come over here unless you want to be painted more black than you already are. All right, that's those. Hey, what are you doing down there? Where'd you even go? Oh, there you are. What's up? Are you having fun? Yeah. Try and get it in those nooks and crannies as good as I can. But I want to let this layer tack up a bit, and then plus I still got to do the insides of these 2 pedestals, so I'm gonna get a Ziploc bag to put that on, or in, sorry, prolong its life hopefully, and then I'll let this flash a bit and we'll come back and add another layer. We back. It's been several hours. It's definitely not dry yet, but it's tacked up pretty good. I can touch it, but it's pretty sticky. These feel the same. I'm not sure if I should put another layer on the outside of these. Yeah, I probably should. I'll do another outside layer on these and this, and then maybe tomorrow or later tonight I'll do another inner layer, or I'll do a first initial inner layer on these. Yep, that's the plan. gonna suffice, honestly. So I'll probably let this dry, and then, which will probably be overnight at least. I'll try and preserve this for as long as I can, maybe till tomorrow in case I want to touch something up, but we'll see. Hoping to not have to touch anything up. I hope it's good just like it is. So yeah, I'm gonna leave my heat on in here. Keep it at 15 or so. Give this stuff a better shot at drying. And yeah, we'll reconvene when this is dry. All right, what's good? It's the next day. Stuff is dry, so let's have a look at it. So, you can see it's all dry. You'll notice kind of a weird texture on the ends here. On both ends and then on each pedestal too. So when I let it dry on that paper overnight, it kind of stuck to the paper. So I just took a little bit of spray on bed liner and just touched up those areas, because when I peeled the paper off, it kind of left a weird aerated look. So anywho, it's all sealed up now, looking pretty snazzy if I don't say so myself. Nice and sealed. Shouldn't rust for a long time. Threads are clean because I had the bolts in there, so I took those out. So yeah, let's go get it installed. All right, so pedestals, tools. So you'll notice there's a little bit of surface rust here. Like I said, I'm probably gonna take these apart again when I'm ready to actually do a proper clean on this car and do this whole back zone. But for now, I don't want it laying around my shop, getting all dinged up and just getting in my way. So I'm gonna put it together. It'll only take me a minute to take it apart again in the future, so. So there's two different types of bolts. You got ones without a little shank, and then you got ones with this tiny little shank. So that style bolt with the little nib is meant to attach the pedestal, and then the other ones attach the crash support to the pedestal. So glad I cleaned up all those threads though, because this is going in so much nicer than it came apart. I have some iron maneuver? What the heck, man? Remover coming for detailing this car, and I can't wait to, we'll probably drown the whole car. Wow, what is wrong with my friggin' English? I'm gonna drown the whole car in iron remover, but I also want to do all these back areas. As you can see, there's tons of it here too, so it's gonna be pretty satisfying to watch. All right. Pedestals on. Now this bad boy should just hang on there if I remember correctly. And these ones maybe? I don't know. Doesn't quite seem right, does it? I don't know, maybe it is. It seems okay, I see it can slide either way. So that's in the center of those holes, they line up. What about these ones? I guess we should probably do these two first. They're not slotted. They must do that to make it easier in case you've been in a fender bender. Like I said, this is slotted, so these ones are easier to do. And looking a lot snazzier than it was, that's for sure. Should be nice and durable too. All right. All right, that's it for this video. Obviously I have more small rust issues to deal with. The back plate there above the muffler I want to clean up. Got that little spot in the front fender apron I want to do, and I'm sure there'll be a little more things along the way. After I detail the car, I'll have a better idea of what I want to do. So that's it for this one. Thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Maybe. I don't know.